What's going on, guys? This is the MMA Complex. My name is Josh.
And I'm James.
We're back, brand new episode. This is episode 216, I believe. It is June 7th, a Monday afternoon. And we're all good to go. Brand new episode for you guys. We have a guest today. And it's another PFL fighter that is the shirts that we're rocking today. These are courtesy of PFL. I got a nice little gold one here, and James got a nice little white one here.
Yeah, they're nice enough to send us a care package.
Yeah, and we got a couple of hats. We got a couple of shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And
a workout shirt, right? It's like a tee, a long sleeve, and then a workout kind of tee. A couple hats, so.
Yeah, and then so thank you to PFL for sending us a care package. We appreciate it. We're rocking them right now, and then we have a couple of PFL fighters on this week.
Mm-hmm.
We had Brittany Alkin last week, who's fighting Clarissa Shields this weekend, and then we have Cindy Dandois, who is fighting Kayla Harrison on June 25th, later this month. So. Today you're going to be hearing from Cindy. We're going to have her on the show just later on. Don't forget Bravus Brewing beer, non-alcoholic beer. Best stuff you can buy that tastes like the real thing, man. It's got plenty of flavors, so make sure you guys go.
Tell.
Yeah, you can't tell at all. They got plenty to choose from. You go on their website, free shipping, 10% off using the promo code COMPLEX. Mix and match your order. Put a 24-pack together, 12-pack. 40, whatever, put it all together and they'll ship it to you. They're local.
You could be drinking a beer while having a car right behind you and you won't get pulled over.
Yeah, man. And it's got freaking 0.5% of alcohol, which is basically nothing. And then you can go work out right after. You can go do anything you want afterwards or even during.
Yeah.
And you uninterrupted. So
yeah.
It's the healthiest. We like to kind of be health conscious, and this is the best thing for that we still get to enjoy our beer, but also be able to live healthy. And so Bravus Brew Company, based out here in Southern California, promo code
COMPLEX.
There you go. But first, man, everything all good with you?
Yeah, dude. I just came home from a week with my girl, man.
I know.
7 days.
7 days.
No, actually 8 days. Yeah.
First time, living with her in a way, a mock trial run. How did it go?
It went well.
Yeah.
But then again, I was thinking, fuck, is she being on her best behavior to encourage me to move in?
You think?
Yeah, well, she's being too nice. She's I don't know. We didn't fight not one time.
Yeah.
I had my space.
Yeah.
She let me be by myself.
I mean, it is a week.
Yeah, I was thinking, how long is this going to last?
Yeah, but all in all, that
was great.
It's going to be a lot like that. You're going to have a couple of disagreements here and there about what should happen, I get
out of the two, I'm the one who gets fucking annoyed.
Yeah,
I get annoyed over the.
what? Give an example.
I just hate redundant questions do you love me? Do you miss me?
Oh,
do you love me?
Yeah.
Do you miss me?
While you're in the same room? Or?
Yeah, but she does that to annoy me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She knows I hate it, but I just...
Oh, well, that's different, though. If she was doing it without realizing how much it annoys you, then...
oh, no, okay. She knows that she does it on purpose. She fucking picks at me. And tries to blow up. Man. But, no, it was good. I save a bunch of money, because usually, at home, I spend money on food, supplements, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or this week, or last week, my meals were made for me. My lunch was made for me, so I really didn't spend much.
Now, that may not last when you guys do move in together. It may not always be like that. But
it probably won't. Luckily, we watch a lot of same shows that we like.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. I think the only shows that I watch by myself the Bad Girls Club. No. And fucking The Ultimate Fighter, because I'm rewatching all the seasons.
Yeah. Okay. And when you do move in together, you'll have the living room, you'll have your bedroom, and then you have a TV in there. Maybe one of somebody might move in with you guys, just so you help
Yeah.
out or whatever.
Mhm.
So, or you move in with her and her family. I know they're planning to buy a house with room for everybody. So
Yeah.
you guys will get the back house or something like that.
And then today, last night my mom dropped. She's all, yeah, we're looking to get in a house in Whittier, by the courthouse.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you this, so I think this is the first time you hearing this story, but yeah, they're gonna get a 4-bedroom house.
They're thinking of moving up there, or like
Yeah.
it's official, or does
No, my
it
sister
say
sent
something
an
considered?
email to the whoever. I don't know if she's
Okay.
gonna, because I know my sister's been looking to buy, but I don't know if this is
Oh, so
her
your,
buying.
your sister is looking to buy, huh?
Yeah, right now she is. Yeah, looking to buy. Yeah,
Yeah.
she bought like 2 cars
Yeah.
on purpose to get her credit high.
Yeah.
She pays for both of them. Both the cars already out, and then yeah, she's been saving money.
That's good.
And her credit, she was waiting for her credit to be high enough where she can do it, and she can do it now.
It's not an easy
That's what I told her.
easy
So
market out there right now. Did you tell her how hard of a time that we were having?
Yeah. So I'm assuming they're gonna rent it, but I'm not. I don't know, but it's gonna be like a 4-bedroom house.
Okay. And are you planning to go with them, or?
Well, like I'm gonna talk to them and say, look, I'll go with you guys for the time being, but then if I do move in, it'll be sometime next year.
Okay. Like
So,
or
like move to with Sandra
that you might move out
to
sometime
move,
next year.
yeah, to move with Sandra. So
Got it.
I can do it temporarily, but it won't
Big
be.
changes. Yeah, big changes. Well, that's cool. You'll be somewhat closer.
Yeah,
Right
because
over the
like
hill.
driving here to Fullerton, it's so close.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took me like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Here to Fullerton, here to your house. Like if you were to move over by the courthouse, yeah.
I'll be down the street. Yeah,
Yeah, you'll be down the street.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, it's good,
Awesome.
but I'll be paying more rent at the Whittier house.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah, it's a nice house, 4-bedroom, 3 bath.
Not bad. Not
Pretty
bad.
big house. So
Not bad. That's cool, man.
yeah. What about you?
Yeah,
How's your house?
you know what? Things are getting a little bit better. Things are improving.
I mean, you look and sound great, man.
Yeah, little by little. Yeah, it's been up and down for almost 3 months now.
Mhm.
A lot more down than up, but I would say mentally, physically, things are looking up. Past week or so,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna be starting a new job tomorrow.
Mm. How exciting!
So I know. So I'm gonna go in and do that, and
A brand new batch of hot chicks, hopefully.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a different environment. And for those, we don't really go into too many details about our personal lives, really. But I mean, it's a I'm in the hotel business,
Mm.
so I got a new hotel I'll be working at. It's in the Hollywood area, so it's gonna be different, a little bit higher end, and yeah, so it's gonna be.
You should like
the pay is pretty good, so.
You should just drive your car to you buy Liz's job to the metro station,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and then you pay like $3 back and
Yeah.
forth. I mean, for the round trip.
yeah, and then I mean the hours I'm gonna be working, the traffic's not gonna be too bad. So.
Oh, okay, never mind. Then.
So-
Oh, that's right, overnight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's not too bad. But yeah, I got that starting tomorrow, and just this past week, just been taking it easy. Went swimming over the weekend at my dad's, and then kind of chilled out for the most part on Sunday, and did some things and watched the Logan Paul and Mayweather fight, in which we're gonna get to in a little bit, and just taking it easy before getting back to work. So.
Vacation's over.
I know vacation is over. So
But in a way, it's good, right? Because it keeps you out of the house, kind of gives you.
yeah, it's gonna be a nice little change, a nice little shake up. So yeah,
But then in about a month, you're gonna wish that you
know.
would be back in your
I know,
old situation.
I know. All right, let's get to some fight talk before we send it over to our guest this week.
Yeah.
All right, so over the weekend we had a UFC event, and then we had what do you say, a boxing event.
So we had an actual fighting event and then
Yeah.
exhibition or a circus.
Yeah, let's get to Mayweather Logan Paul first, and then branch off from there to the UFC and MMA and the rest of the the stuff that's going to go on this weekend. the event overall, I didn't watch everything. I didn't watch really any of the undercard. I didn't watch the pre-broadcast stuff. I watched the weigh-ins or the press stuff from earlier in the week, but that's really about it leading up to the event. Tuned in right when the fighters are walking out. It would look big. It looked like a big arena. If I was Logan Paul, I'd been a little, intimidated for sure. It had that kind of like that, open arena, big stage, kind of old Pride looking. It was like a minimum capacity crowd. A lot of UFC fighters, a lot of celebrities, and a lot of media. So it was pretty cool. The walkouts didn't take too long. The whole entrance stuff didn't take long at all, and then the fight kicked off. And honestly, it was Mayweather was. Let's talk about performances. I mean, Mayweather, was kind of taking it easy the first few rounds, and I wouldn't say taking it easy, but playing a lot more defensive, a lot more counter action, kind of striking, and then started to press Logan around the third or fourth. Started to press and move forward and try to land some punches on him. And a couple times he caught him clean, but nothing that really rocked him. There was one that people are pointing to that looked at that as if he might have got wobbled, and then they tied up, and that was Mayweather extending the whole fight, and it's it was kind of a stretch.
Brandon Shaw was on the panel, right?
Yeah, I think so. He was on the commentating.
Yeah, him and I think Luke Thomas too, right?
Yeah, Luke Thomas and yeah, I'm not sure who was a part of the actual fight, like commentating, but because I was watching a different broadcast, but yeah, so. You had Mayweather. That was his thing, and then kind of pressed forward the remaining that last half of the fight. Logan, I mean, he was very aggressive in the first. Kind of had a flurry of punches that Mayweather kind of blocked for the most part. He landed a few shots, a couple of jabs, a couple of right hooks here and there on Mayweather. He landed on Mayweather, but was more of a counter striker and used his jab a lot. And tied up Mayweather and carry his weight for the last half of the fight, and went all 8 rounds. In my opinion, Mayweather looked decent. He didn't look like he was really had a sense of urgency to finish the fight. I mean, he pressed the action, and Logan did what he needed to do to quote unquote survive, I guess. And he looked good, man. I mean, at least for Logan, he looked, calm under pressure. He looked, his skills were there. He had a good strategy. If Mayweather pressed him and, to avoid any big shots, land the jab and tie him up. And that was the fight. I mean, I know a lot of people that had issue with a lot of the clinching, but
it's boxing.
It's boxing, and it's a strategy. You have one guy pressing forward and another guy looking to stop that, and that's kind of what you get sometimes. I wasn't mad at it. I enjoyed the fight. I think Logan exceeded all expectations. I know a lot of people were counting him out. People thought that Mayweather was going to go in there and steamroll him, and for all intents and purposes, I think he should have. But the fact that he couldn't, and I think if Mayweather could, he would have. This is a win for Logan, in my opinion. I think there was no official winner, but this is a symbolic win for Logan. I think it's a symbolic loss for Mayweather. The fact that he wasn't even able to dominate Logan in any real way, significant way at all in the fight, which I think it shouldn't be like that for a guy who, he's bigger, younger, whatever.
Yeah.
It's his only second fight ever.
Which is crazy.
And then you have a guy who's, smaller, a little bit older, but is considered one of the best boxers of all time. I don't know. This is a loss to Mayweather. I mean, financially, of course, it's a win. But a loss is it doesn't look good. Boxing doesn't look good, and I know a lot of the pros in boxing were not happy. Um, I saw some comments out there and tweets and all that from people. I know Canelo was like had like a face palm emoji, and I mean, for me, if I had to choose a winner, I would say Logan.
Yeah,
Logan.
I mean, like not a official win, but a moral victory.
Yeah, a moral victory, not an official win. I think on the scorecards he would have lost. But there weren't clear blowout rounds.
Yeah,
so. It's you didn't watch the fight. You were busy.
I was driving back. Yeah, I was driving back home, but I did rewatch it when I got home. Because usually on YouTube,
you can check it out.
Yeah, so I was watching it. I don't know. It looked like a joke to me, like a circus. It looked like
it is for sure.
Like the fight was kind of like frustrating, like really annoying to watch. But I mean, I agree. I think Logan Paul had a moral victory just because this is his second fight and he's fighting probably. I mean, arguably like the greatest boxer out there.
Yeah.
And he held his own.
Bad. Yeah, it did look bad doing it. I don't think he looked bad. Do I think he looks like a
world beater,
world beating boxer? No,
for sure. But I mean, he stood there with arguably the best boxer in boxing history.
Took his best shots.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, he was double his size and a lot younger,
which plays a factor for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think on Mayweather's side, I think that he didn't take it seriously, and I think the whole time, even though he was winning the fight, I think he was just kind of like playing with his food.
Yeah,
and I think that he could have taken him out if he really wanted to, but I think he was just.
So you think that? I don't know.
I think he was just kind of toying with them.
I think he tried. I think he tried. Do I think he put a maximum amount of effort? No.
I think Logan put 100% of his effort, and I think Mayweather put maybe like 40%.
I don't know.
50 maybe at most, but I think he was half-assing it the whole time.
I think so. And now you don't also don't want to put yourself into too much danger.
Yeah, because he didn't have the most to lose.
But I don't know, man. I think if you're Mayweather, you're expected to go in there and dominate any which way. Either just
especially because of your name.
Yeah, either just outboxing him. Yeah. You don't have to knock him out. Just outclassing him in every single which way. And Mayweather didn't.
I think he should have just hurt him and finished him because since the rules say that there's no clear-cut winner, it has to be knockout or stoppage. That's only two ways to win. I think he should have went in there and boxed him and hurt him and stopped him.
I think
anything but a TKO or anything like that would be a loss on Mayweather's part.
Yeah, I think Mayweather put an effort, and now I don't think he put an effort in terms of the training. I think he half-assed the training. I think he's always in shape and to get anyway. I think in terms of prep and in terms of training overall, I don't think he was pulling a full-on camp. But do I think he went in there to try to outbox him, outclass him, and even finish him? I think he did, and I think he really put an actual effort into doing it once he was in there. And I just think he couldn't. I think the size, the youth, the reach, and just the overall game plan and boxing skills of Logan. Even Mayweather said he was a lot better than I expected. So,
and Mayweather doesn't have punching power.
No, and Mayweather doesn't have punching power either. So. Especially less so when you're fighting a guy that big.
Yeah. So I think, overall, it was. I guess you can call it an entertaining fight, but I think Logan won.
Yeah,
moral victory.
Moral victory, yeah. But I think if you have a heavyweight UFC guy going into, glory kickboxing against Rico, you expect Rico to kind of dominate and maybe even finish him because it's his sport, it's his world.
Yeah, and we've seen it happen countless of times.
Yeah, and it's opposite, vice versa. When if Rico were to go and fight Ngannou in the cage, you expect Ngannou to have the upper advantage. So I think Mayweather accepting the fight with Paul and Paul holding his own and going the distance, and I
A
think
YouTuber, that's fucking crazy.
yeah, it's almost yeah. So it would be like if CM Punk actually could fight, and he went in there with like Tyron Woodley, who was probably champ at the time,
Yeah.
and held his own in a competitive way against Tyron, and then went all five. And it was like CM Punk's second fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be
That'd be
pretty.
crazy.
It'd look bad on Tyron.
Yeah.
So I think the same could be said for Mayweather. Like, all right, yeah, you didn't. It was fun and all fun and games, and it was a money grab for you. But I mean, as far as your reputation and legacy, this is not a good look.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
not
for sure.
Yeah. So even then, 30 million or 50 million or 100 million, how much he's gonna make, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. People will forget. But
Yeah.
I thought it was overall entertaining fight. I had no problem with it. I didn't have a problem with the clinching. I thought it was I respected the game plans of both fighters, and
it was expected for that to happen anyway.
And I think this puts all the MMA fighters and all the boxing guys on notice that, because everybody was calling out these guys, the Paul brothers, everywhere. Everybody wanted the money, the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody. And so I think this put more respect on their names than any of their previous fights. I think, or any of their trash talking.
Well, Logan, so. Especially because Logan's actually fighting legit boxers, where his brother isn't really doing
it. But his brother, I know, is considered, a lot of people think, is a little more aggressive, maybe even a better power puncher and all that stuff. So I think this puts more respect on their name, to where I think you're going to see less people calling them out, actual professional fighters, because if they see that Mayweather, the best boxer of their generation, went the distance and couldn't take him out, even though he's smaller.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just, to me, I don't.
I think Canelo would just go in there and roll both those guys.
Who?
Canelo.
Yeah, but Canelo's not going to even entertain the thing.
I'm just saying that, like, Mayweather does it because he's small and because he, but you go to like Triple G or like a Canelo.
Oh no, I'm not saying nobody's not going to want to call them out. I'm just saying, like, you're going to have to get like certain high level. You're going to have to be really at the top of your game to. I
see maybe the low level boxers, but guys like Triple G and Canelo.
Oh yeah, they'll be able to compete easily with them.
They'll murder. I think they'll stop them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
and if a high level MMA guy who's got some really good hands goes in there too, I think they'll really. But I'm just saying, like, for any of those mid level guys or lower level guys that have been calling these brothers out, they're gonna have to think about that a little bit more. I think, because they can see that these guys know what they're doing. They're big, athletic, and strong, and they putting in the work.
I just wish that they could at least do a compromise with MMA guys and do like a kickboxing fight. Which
I think they will. I think they will at some point. But I don't know. For me, I'm like, this is even more so a win for Logan and the Paul brothers, and that people will look at them as a little bit more legitimate and not be so quick to be calling them out, because they're going to have to really, really put the work in so they don't get embarrassed, because they're going to see that these brothers are putting in the work. Before they're still the YouTubers. Now it's a little bit different. Now, okay, if I fight one of these guys, I'm gonna have to really put in the fucking work, because I don't want to get embarrassed.
Yeah, Well, I think they still consider the YouTuber guys.
Yes, and I don't know.
I think because that fear that you just said, that they don't want to get embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's still gonna be there.
Yeah.
But that's even more so because they're YouTuber guys, but they kind of know what they're doing. And
well, I don't know. With Jake, it's kind of hard to tell just because he picks the crappiest of the crap to fight.
Yeah.
So you can't really, like, judge him on the scales because he's picking shitty fighters.
Yeah. I don't know.
Logan, maybe, yeah. But Jake, you can't really say that.
We talked about that fight coming up with Jake and Tyron. I mean,
he's going to get his ass handed to him.
See, that's why if someone like Tyron,
but he's a complete different fighter than he was 5 years ago.
Yeah. But this is going to be...
So he's picking a shitty fighter.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't... A shitty fighter or a fighter he's picking they're picking older, established past their prime fighters.
I mean,
for sure.
I mean, let's call spades. Spade. I mean, he is a shitty fighter. He's not the same fighter he was.
No. His current form, no.
Yeah. So
no.
I mean, I would label that as a shitty fighter, just because he's horrible now.
He's horrible now. He barely throws a punch.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is that even a guy like Tyron, who has a chance of being really embarrassed, the fact that he has a chance of being really embarrassed, is gonna also put guys like that are his level or lower on notice. To really, really, really be careful when calling these guys out.
I completely agree with that statement. Yeah.
So I mean, because that Tyron fight, he better put in the work and he better bring it, because I think Mayweather even offered to train him. I know Tyron's been at a long time wild card gym member for quite a while, but still, he's gonna have to put in a lot of work, because Jake's a lot more aggressive, and so which may play into Tyron's hands a little bit more, because he's a really good counterpuncher. But
imagine Jake gets knocked out. That'd be crazy.
That's for on paper. That's the way it should be, and that's the same with this past fight. It should have been Mayweather just blowing him out, but Mayweather didn't blow him out. Yeah. So the fact that he didn't blow him out, it's a win for Paul. And if Tyron doesn't go in there and blow out Jake, or even gets finished by Jake, that's just the big L. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's these.
I see it happening. I see Jake dominating.
Yeah, these guys know what they're doing. They're skilled. They're big. They're young. They're athletic, and they're not fucking around. And they put that YouTube Disney Channel kid vibe out there a lot. They usually play that up just to trick guys in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And Tyron seems to not be falling for it, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous. The reputation will be tarnished. Like Askren is. Askren's a fucking joke now. And 2 years ago, he was not. You know what I mean? So it's.
And I'll start with that.
Things could change real quick
with that flying knee.
Yeah. Now people will forget. Casuals will forget. Yeah, but hardcore fans are not going to forget.
No.
All right, let's get into our first, our first and only guest of this show, and that is none other than Cindy Dandois. She is fighting PFL 5, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the number is, but against Kayla Harrison in the main event in New Jersey on June 25th. So enjoy our interview with Cindy. All right, next up on the show, we have Cindy Dandois. Friday, June 25th, she fights on PFL 6 against Kayla Harrison, and that's on ESPN 2 and ESPN Plus. And thank you, Cindy, for being on the show. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. And thank you. I'm very excited. Probably more excited than you guys are. So.
Yeah. No, we're very excited.
We're very excited. We're looking forward to it. I mean, this is the action-packed month for PFL. You have Clarissa Shields making her debut against Brittany Elkin. You have yourself against Kayla Harrison at the end of the month. I mean, and a host of other PFL big names. So I mean, it's a big month for PFL, and you're pretty much capping that off with your main event.
Also so too, like me and Josh are huge fans of yours. Like we've been following your career.
We've seen you fight a ton of times.
Bellator, the UFC, Invicta.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
My favorite fight was you against Megan Anderson. I loved when you choked her out.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was a big underdog then too. Yeah. Although I was smaller, so it was
So we're both beyond excited to talk to you right now. And I'm sure. And I'm sure this training camp must have been different than others because of pandemic and all that. Mm-hmm. So just compare this training camp compared to the previous one with zero pandemic compared to a pandemic one.
It's not for me. It's not only been the pandemic that was hard on me. As everybody knows, I lost my mom. I lost my grandmother during my fight camp.
Yeah, our condolences.
Yes, I got a baby 5 months ago. I went from 212 pounds to 153 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So that's it's been hard. And then I had a lot of financial struggles with our government that didn't help anything with during the pandemic. They closed my gym. I had a lot of debts. It's been really hard. Also for training, it was challenging because I had to train sneakily behind closed doors. Then we came here to the stage. I wasn't able to return to my children. I had to find solutions for that. My little baby, at the end of this camp, I will not have seen him for 2.5 months. So it's been challenging. That's at the least thing you can say.
Wow, that's crazy.
What's that? I mean, to compete against these high-level athletes like this in circumstances that you've gone through with your mom passing and having a child, and just the overall, financial and just impact of COVID and everything. I mean, to go into this fight, such a big fight, and the mental preparation, man, that's a lot of testament to your character. And to get through that, and I mean, just to speak on that, how much it's really, not a lot of people can handle something like that. So kudos to you for even doing something like that.
I couldn't handle it either. It's not something that I was, I can handle this. No, I couldn't handle it. I cried a lot. I cried. I trained. I had tears in my eyes during training. I had the best coach at my side, catching every tear and walking this whole line with me. Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't go home after the last fight. No, he stayed in the States, same as my training partner, although my coach also has a 2-year baby at home and his wife. And my training partner also had a job at home. They just all left it to be with me. So I'm very thankful for that. But no, I haven't been strong the whole time. I've been crying a lot. But I have a lot of babies at home, having dreams, and I think since I have no man in my life, I am their example. So I want to show them that even if life hits you, you will have every opportunity to hit back. You can fall down, but you cannot fall to pieces, So I hope I set a good example by keeping it a little together.
I definitely think you are. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. At any point, were you considering like just pulling out of the fight, be with your kids?
Yeah.
You're not even considering fighting. Has that ever come across your mind?
Especially when you got the call for this fight. What was going through your mind?
I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy because I get a lot of hate from a lot of sides. And last year, I had fights against girls who were like ranked way below me. And people were like, oh, you're picking these fights and you choose easy fights. I didn't choose anything.
Yeah.
That's what people have to understand. I didn't choose anything. I just get an offer and I'm like, okay, I do it. Doesn't matter against who or even against what weight. I killed myself almost making 135. But
that's crazy.
I always showed up. I was always on weight and I always fought my heart out. So so I was very happy with this fight because in my idea is like a true champion, because not because how she fights or because she wins fights. Winning fights doesn't make you a champion, but the way how she handles life, going through hardships. She's taking care of 2 children who are not like who she didn't put on this earth herself. That's what makes her a champion, and that's what makes me as a mother. And also, I've been fostering kids many times in my life. Makes her. Gives her my respect, So that's why I think it's a blessing and it's an honor to step in that cage with a champion like that.
Yeah,
awesome.
And when you got the call, where were you and how did you react and what did they say to you in terms of like, hey, this is a title fight, you got the shot next, and how did that conversation go?
There was no conversation. I just saw it on the internet. I got it in my Greenfly. But
Wow.
I was fine with it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got it in my Greenfly. I was like, okay, champ. I got my poster. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So
and
they knew I wouldn't say no. They knew.
Yeah.
Your manager or anything like that? Do they kind of talk with them in terms of setting it up and hashing out the details, or how is that set up on your end?
No, they just send it through my green fly. They send the poster. Like, hey, this is the poster. You're fighting Kayla next. And I was like, oh, I see a shiny belt on that poster.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
That's great. So I mean,
I had not one second I wasn't happy with it. I'm beyond blessed because this gives me the opportunity. PFL will be my last organization.
Yeah.
And if I can like put on a great show here and give a great fight, they might keep me longer. So I have everything to prove myself now,
Right.
So you're looking to end your career with PFL. This is
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because I had a lot of promotion treating me like shit. And I feel like in every step on the line, Recep has been great with me, during the pandemic, he called me with updates, he calls with updates. They kept us up to date, like what's going on. They helped us financially a little. What I really loved is I asked if I was able to bring my baby to the States, and that wasn't possible. But he called me and talked about me as person to person, because he's a human. He's a man. He's a man. He's a human. He knows how to talk to you. Right. So that is a very nice thing, and that's why I want to be here. That's why I want to be in PFL. I hope they open a 145 division because I'm a small 155. But if they don't, I just eat whatever I want and fight very healthy.
That's awesome. But I'm sure training during all your struggles was kind of like a therapy, right? For yourself, kind of get your head out of the gutter and just focus on training.
No. Sometimes you need time to grieve. I didn't have time to grieve about anything. I think that will hit me after this training camp. Okay. But I just did what I had to do. I think I always took risks in my life. I always stepped up and did what I had to do to solve problems or do things. And I just did the same thing. Like my mom died. I had to say goodbye to her. I had to, say, because my mom was suffering cancer for a long time. Yeah. So I had a chance to say goodbye. But 2 days after, I was again in the gym training. Wow. With tears in my eyes, but I was doing what I had to do, So
that's crazy.
And how long have you been in the States?
Now, over 1 month and a half already.
Okay. Oh wow. Are you home right now? Are you?
Well, the hotels are really expensive. I couldn't pay that. Like I couldn't afford it. And we are with 3 people here, and I'm very blessed to know Rick Liddell,
awesome.
The coach of Jiu-Jitsu. My coach, Eliana Peña's coach. Mm-hmm. He's a dear friend of mine, and of course I could have go to Misha too, but she's training in Las Vegas, and Taylor is training in couture, and Jenna Fabian is training in couture. So I didn't want to, interfere, being a problem there.
Yeah.
So I called Rick, and I was welcome like from the first second. So I'm very happy that I have friends like that in the United States. For me and my coach, my training partner, are staying at Rick's mom's house.
That's awesome. I mean, it's a way to have those connections and to have that kind of help. It's great.
Yeah, awesome. Well, everybody knows. Yeah, and everyone knows that you're fighting, for the title. But let's kind of rewind to the beginning of your fighting roots.
Yeah.
Because like you started doing judo at age 5. Like, I don't know. My niece is 1. I kind of imagine her at 5 throwing people around. So was that your parents' decision to get you into judo? Or something that did you want to do it at that?
Oh, no. I wanted to wrestle, but that time girls were not allowed to stay in the team. And my mom put me on gymnastics, but that didn't count.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I cried every time. Sorry, mommy. I feel a little guilty now, but no, I just know I was never a girly girl. So Then my dad said, okay, something in between is going to be judo. And by the time I was 8 years old, they allowed girls in the wrestling team. So I was able to join.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must have been throwing a lot of guys around.
I know. That's not an easy sport for a young child to be into. Right? I mean, to get to be tossed around like that, it's got to build a lot of character and build a lot of toughness early on.
Were other boys scared of you?
Yeah, it's something that I like. So.
Yeah.
The boys are still scared of me.
I would be, man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And now obviously,
my son when he was small.
Yeah.
My son when he was small, he would say at school when he had problems with the kids, like, "Oh, my mom can beat up your dad." So.
Oh my god. Yeah, I can.
And do your kids train at all, or do you have your kids? Are they interested in martial arts?
All of my kids train. My daughter Lola, she just turned 14. She already had like a lot of competitions. She's really good. There was a lot of again people talking shit on the internet because she fought on the same card I fought at here in Spokane, Washington. But she did great. She submitted her opponent. It was very nice, and she wants to do this. So if my girl has this dream, I'm going to encourage her, and I'm going to be by her side in every step she does. And I cannot wait to be back home and train with her again. So yeah.
And do you watch your fights with your eyes closed?
Who?
Do you watch
the kids?
The kids. Yeah. Do you watch them?
The kids watch my fight.
No. When your kids compete, are you like really into it, or do you kind of like?
Oh, I'm
you get really nervous. You get nervous.
My son has two. He just turned 13. He has 2 MMA fights. Yes, he won them 13? Both by submission.
Oh wow!
Yes, and I pee my pants every time he has to fight. I'm very nervous every time. My daughter Lola, she just turned 14. She's been competing MMA from she was in 11. She has 4 MMA fights, 2 against boys. So yeah, same thing. I'm always when she fights, but yes, nerve-wracking. But I love it. I love to see the passion in her eyes. I love to see how they go out there, and it's nice to see your kids step in your footsteps.
Right. And you know what? Like, I think your life would be a great reality show. Like, it's the MMA family.
Oh, it would be. I'm very bad with technology. I have been thinking about making a YouTube channel and film my life. You have no idea.
Do it.
What happens.
Yeah. That'd be really interesting to see your kids and you just go around competing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Great TV.
Great TV.
Maybe I do later.
Now with your background in judo, and obviously Kayla Harrison, who was a high level judo person, going into this fight, and with your experience and your background martial arts wise, I mean, it's got to be a familiar kind of approach to competing against somebody like her. Or how are you seeing this fight in terms of a strategic standpoint without giving anything away?
It's going to be very interesting because our strengths are both judo. Although I believe that she will be a better judoka than I am, of course. But I'm a fighter in my heart, and I'm always coming to finish. And I know Kayla is not a technical hit and run person, so she's not going to go for the point. She's going to finish me. I'm going to finish her. So it's going to be a great war. That's what I promise.
That's awesome.
Have you pictured yourself holding that title at the end of the fight?
Yes, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. I believe I came from everybody.
Awesome.
If you don't believe that, you shouldn't go in there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you have any sponsors that are helping you for this fight. I hope you do. I mean, if you want to give them a shout out before we let you go, or even how to for the fans out there to be able to find you on social media and follow your career and thus far and get to know you more.
I want to do a shout out to my gym, who is reopening finally from June 9th. Yeah. We can go back to training, and I just want to say in Belgium we are like we have the international fights, so I hope a lot of people join my team and put MMA on the map. Putting MMA on the map with my team would be really nice.
Awesome.
Like you've been a journeywoman in the sport for a very long time. You fought in all the best promotions. You have a story that's really inspirational.
Some of the biggest
powerful,
names, yeah. Some of the biggest names in the sport you've competed against, and
like you're a very inspirational woman to those who maybe has lost someone in their lives, or someone, or single mothers out there that kind of look up to you and like a role model. So we thank you for sharing your powerful story. Josh and I give you condolences for your mother, and we hope that you kick some ass.
Yeah, come June 25th. Yeah.
Like, carry that belt to home.
Yeah. All right. So again, Friday, June 25th, ESPN2, ESPN Plus. Cindy, thank you so much for being on the show.
Best of luck.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. All right, and that was Cindy Dandois. Thank you for her to being on the show. It was great talking to her. Best of luck to her in her upcoming fight later this month. Thank you for PFL for allowing us to be in contact with our fighters and also this gear.
Yeah.
And so really enjoyed it. So thank you, Cindy. All right. Let's get to touch up on the UFC card this past weekend. Did you catch it? Sakai and Rozenstruik?
I caught the main event, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the card overall was pretty decent. I thought the fights were fun. They weren't like, overly, they weren't big names or anything like that. But some of them I had a interest in, like with the Montana De La Rosa fight, the Tapatahisi fight. Man, she got kind of, I don't know. I mean, hats off to Tapatahisi for taking that fight on short notice. It was, I think, within a few das' notice, and
that's crazy.
And it was a weight class above. And you could really see it because when she was trying to go for the takedowns, her opponent, which I'll get the name right now, kind of just fucking shrugged her off, and was I think a high level kickboxer, French kickboxer, and so when she couldn't get it down to the ground, it was just a stand up fight, and she kind of got overwhelmed on the feet after a while. Yair Latifi picking up a win. You had Manon Furiot, who beat Tapatahisi. I think they'll give Tabitha another shot in her natural weight class. I hope they do. And then you had kicking off the main card, Montana De Rosa just kind of demolishing Ariana Lipski, beating the crap out of her. I mean, I don't know what I can say about Ariana. I'm like, when I saw Ariana, I'm like, damn, at least Montana is pretty good looking and can fight. And is on like a 5-fight win streak or something like that.
Yeah, damn.
But you have Ariana, who's extremely attractive and just can't put wins together, man. She goes 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. So it's this might be the end of the road for her in the UFC. Her wrestling is not where it should be. Her jiu-jitsu defense and ground game overall is not where it should be, at least on her back. And she needs a lot of work to do and a lot of confidence building in that area in order to succeed in the UFC. And I don't think they're going to give her the time. So she's probably going to. I see her getting the boot.
I mean, it's probably best for her to leave anyway.
Yeah. You have Gregorio Rodriguez, Santiago Ponzinibbio picking up a win against Miguel Baez. I thought that was a good fight. Marcin Tibur defeating Walt Harris. Unfortunate for Walt Harris, man. Can't put wins together. 3 in a row since in the last 6 months.
That sucks.
This is probably, I could see them probably cutting him. Maybe they'll give him one more because you could probably excuse of 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But Walt, once you get him down to the ground or he can't take you out on the feet, he's pretty much it, man.
He's stuck on his back.
Yeah, and he kind of is pretty easily finished on the ground once you get to a certain point.
Sad.
Or his limited striking ability just can't take you out, and you overwhelm him with technique, and unfortunately he wilts. So Marcin Tibur weathered the storm, picks up the win, and then Jair Rozenstruik defeating Augusto. Jair Rozenstruik just looked a step ahead over Sakai the entire time. Finished another late stoppage finish in the.
That was horrible, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know if it was a late stoppage. I mean, not late stoppage, but in terms of like at the end of the round.
Beat up bad.
Yeah, and Sakai was getting beat up. He got caught. Got
I
finished.
thought they were going to finish it. I mean, stop it.
Yeah, and they did. I wasn't too mad at the stoppage. I thought it was a decent, and it happened in the last couple of seconds of the round.
Yeah.
You know, another fight ending buzzer beater. So by Rozenstruik, and then I think this probably keeps him in that top 5-ish range. So overall, I thought the event was good. I thought it was fun. And let's get to this weekend. So this weekend is UFC. Well, you have PFL. Clarissa Shields versus Brittany Elkins is this weekend. You have Anthony Pettis on the card, also on the co-main event. That is on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus. This 10th, I believe. What is that? Friday?
Yeah.
You have one championship. Also has an event on
the 11th is Friday.
Is 11th on Friday?
Yeah. It's Santa's birthday on Friday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you? Oh, okay, we'll get to that. Let me just. Yeah, you're right. PFL's on Thursday. UFC has a Friday card.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Okay. So yeah, PFL 4 on the 10th. One championship on the 11th, which is Friday. And you have Bellator 260 also on the 11th. Lima versus Amazov. That is on Showtime. You have Invicta also on Access TV on Friday. So you have a lot of fights on Thursday and Friday, especially on Friday. You have one championship, Bellator and Invicta.
Yeah.
And then June 12th, Saturday, is 263. Also Ryzen on Sunday, I believe. A big weekend for MMA. Israel versus Marvin Vettori. You have Paul Craig and Jamal Hill kicking off the main card. You have Damian Maia versus Bilal Muhammad on that same main card. You have Alexis Davis versus Pani Kianzad, who was a former guest on the show, in the main event for the prelims. Joanne Calderwood versus Lauren Murphy. Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart. Drew Dober versus Brad Riddle. Those are the main fights on the prelim. But prelims are pretty good. Shit.
Yeah.
Paul Craig, Jamal Hill kicking off the main card. Damian Maia, Bilal Muhammad. Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards. Davison Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno, and Israel Adesanya, Marvin Vettori. Okay, fight picks. Damian Maia, Bilal Muhammad.
I don't know.
This might be Damian Maia's final fight.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to pick against Maia.
Maia? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to go with Bilal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with Bilal too. I think he's competent enough to stay off the ground and do what he needs to do against Maia to win the fight. Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards.
I'm going to go Nate Diaz.
You're going to go Nate?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with Leon.
Yeah, I was going to go Leon too, but
I think Leon's just too current, too well-rounded. Nate has been off for too long, and I think Leon is the next rightful person to fight for the title. I don't know. I think this is a Nate hasn't been active enough to compete against these guys at this level. So, I mean, neither has Leon because nobody wants to fight the guy. But
at 170, right? So.
Yeah, 170. Also, it's 170.
Yeah.
So it's not Nate's natural weight class.
Yeah.
Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno in the rematch for the flyweight title. Who do we have?
I don't know.
That's a tough one. First one was split decision. Or not split decision.
I'm going to go Brandon. I'm going to go Brandon.
Draw. Brandon Moreno?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Brandon too. I think
it was a close fight last time.
It was a close fight,
Very
but
close
I thought
fight.
skill for skill, I thought Brandon Moreno had a lot more moments where it was kind of swinging in his way. I think Davidson relied too much on his power and wasn't putting things together as much as Brandon was. So I could see Brandon outpointing him and maybe even winning the decision this time around. Or Davidson just kind of finishes him off with that power. but it's going to be one of those two. I think Brandon. I'm going to go with Brendan.
Yeah,
Brendan. Israel versus Marvin Vettori for the middleweight title in their rematch.
I'm gonna go Israel.
I'm gonna go Israel too. I think he knows where his mistakes are. I think he's gonna outpoint Marvin at the very least and survive another title defense.
Yeah.
And I think Marvin might be his most dangerous opponent.
Yeah, I
agree.
And there's Sunday heat coming into this fight.
Yeah, and there's a lot of words being exchanged because the first one was fairly close, split decision. So it's gonna be fun. So that's UFC 263, Adesanya versus Vettori 2. That's this Saturday. And that is our show. Thank you to Cindy Dandois for being on the show. Looking forward to her fight on June 25th against Kayla Harrison. Wanted to remind you guys, Bravus Brewing Company. Go to bravusbrewing.com. Use the promo code COMPLEX for 10% off your order. And thank you guys all for joining us.
And thanks for PFL for the care package.
Yes.
Much love and respect for you guys. And Josh and I will recap all the fights from this weekend on the next show. So until then, enjoy the week and enjoy the fights.